Assault groups with the 12th Special Forces Azov Brigade assault Russian positions in the Serebryansky Forest. During the assault, an attempt is made to save a fallen comrade. I had this video dubbed over in English, and I by no means have this perfected yet, but if you feed the algorithm down below by interacting with this video and you enjoy this content, then I'll probably work on more of these for you. I also added some visuals within the video so I don't have to stop it every 5 seconds.
Have you launched the tanks already?
Point.
We worked with the tank. There was a task like a tank drives in, works on positions with direct aim. It drove right onto enemy territory. Before that, our snappers worked there. After that, our equipment started working. Tank, ready. Move. Let's move, guys. Don't be afraid. Fast, fast, fast. Battle order. Come on, guys. Good luck to everyone. Kazak, did you move out? Plus, received, on the move. Plus, work. That's quite the movement. In tempo, in temp. Take a knee. A knee. A knee. It was fun, definitely. Well, I was in the first 4. It was awesome. Come on, come on. Distance on reception. Strakoza on the right. Strakoza. Strakoza on the right. Strakoza. Come on. They're working on you. Reception. Withdraw. Withdraw.
First thing that I'd like to point out is the green tape on the end of his muzzle. For whatever reason, there's a whole bunch of people that think that everything they see in regards to Ukraine and the war is fake. And one of the things that they point out is muzzle devices, what appear to be muzzle devices on the end of their muzzles, commonly referred to in the military as a BFA. I don't remember what it actually stands for, but those types of devices on weapons, on the muzzle of weapons, are there to function your rifle when you're shooting blanks. And so people see these colors on the end of their people's rifles over there, and they think that they're shooting blanks. So they think it's all not real. What the tape is simply to keep out debris from inside of the barrel. So we're not always shooting all the time or cleaning our gun, but doing a lot of movement, sitting around, whatever. And we don't want debris to get inside of our barrel. And you'll see that when he shoots it, it actually pretty much comes off. But sometimes you'll see the tape on there and they'll shoot and it just doesn't come off because it's stuck around the muzzle, but the bullet is still obviously coming out. So people that are pointing that out as a device to shoot blanks is just not accurate.
I'm second from the tank. There's a distance of 20 meters. I think, wow, I should probably run already. I give my group the command that we start moving towards the trench. Kazak, is the tank crew intact? How do you hear me? Tank crew intact. Confirming. Tank crew intact. At that moment, things went a bit not according to plan. Tank got hit. Tankers are withdrawing. Tankers are withdrawing. This operation was prepared. All situations were considered. What, how, and where. Let's say that such a situation would not have happened, that you would have been confused or some such thing. The tank is burning. At the moment of the assault, so to speak, we made the best out of circumstances right on the spot and made decisions during direct combat. We went, go, shot at the enemy, see how the enemy stands at the beginning of the trench, shakes head and thinks it's game over.
The tank was hit pretty early on, so obviously they lose that asset. Tanks are good, or they're great, but tanks are good against other armored vehicles. They're not great against a number of infantrymen who have the capability of destroying a tank, especially with the drones. The Marine Corps in 2020 actually started phasing out all of their tanks. I don't think they have any more now, but they're not going to last long if you don't have infantry directly supporting a tank. And on the back of Abrams tanks, they actually have a literal phone on a cable, well, on a phone cord, I guess, that can stretch very far, like 50 feet, 100 feet. I don't remember exactly what it was. So the tank could be in the street and you could be in a building off the side of the street talking to the tank, because they're heavy, they have limited mobility, and they have very limited visibility. So an infantryman able to spot for them and tell them, be their eyes for them, is an advantage, or something that is necessary to kind of keep the tank alive. So they lose that right off the bat.
And we continue the assault. Turns out we're throwing grenades, and the first shelter was quite tough. We encountered that there was a shelter, which due to artillery shelling lowered, and we had to crawl. Colden plus. What's the matter? I ask my guys. They say, we have to crawl. I'm like, plus crawl. I run onto the breastwork. I quickly reloaded, start leading further. I just see the enemy runs towards us and throws a grenade towards us. I'm like, wow. Oh, he's there. Understood. Get the F out, find out about Muraka. Is it clear or not? Too long at the spot.
He's probably saying too long at the spot because if they stay in position for a period of time, that's just allowing the enemy to zero in their location and start bringing artillery in on them or mortars in on them. And so it's in their best interest to continue momentum until they've pretty much gotten to their limit of advance or clear the trenches that they're trying to clear here.
Control there too. Didn't get through. Repeat.
Да, занял. Блядь, там красный, надо сейчас вызывать эвакуацию.
Only 300. Vaha, I'm copy. Listen carefully now. Take the Tornado machine gun, work with it, and tell Tornado to take Onus machine gun. Understood? Plus, go. No one acts so brazenly, probably. This is really from the category. It would be more brazen if we just rode in on pickups, drove up to their trench, disembarked like saying, hello? That would be the boldest thing ever. But so, they were initially very surprised by what was happening. Like, are we being stormed? No way. Like, where's our artillery? The artillery was probably still asleep there, and because we approached very quietly, it worked pretty well. There's movement. Tesla. Tesla. Colden, do you need help? Minus, we are intact. We continue to work. Plus, well done. Keep going. Stop, don't rush. Shoot single shots. Come here, don't stand with your back. Poets, 6 cleared, be ready. Reception. Go, get to Merca, get a grenade in that trench.
You heard him say a few minutes ago or a couple seconds ago, shoot only single shots, and that's because they probably only have the amount of ammo that they carried with them, which I imagine would be like 6 fully loaded magazines and then 1 in their rifle and maybe a couple more. Maybe they carry some on their belt too. And so, especially as like maybe a team leader, which I believe the person's body cam or GoPro footage that we're viewing, he is the team leader. And so as the team leader, primarily your job is to kind of like command and control on the ground with your guys or whoever you're in charge of and making sure they're doing what they're doing. And if you get too caught up in trying to do their job, then some of these other things kind of are fleeting thoughts to them. And so you hear him tell them several times, you know, control your ammo or shoot single shots because they may be starting to get carried away. And it's his job to make sure they're staying on task.
Movement ahead. Run. S6. Strakoza 6, do you copy? Stop, there's a trench. S6 cleared, moving on. We have 300, we have on 300, red. Received. Vaha on Strakoza has a 300 red. How do you copy? Evacuation needed.
So what he just did there was relayed who they were calling, where they were, and what they had. I think he said Baja, which is apparently their call sign, on Strakoza, which is likely the position or the trench that they're in, and then has a 300, and which is a casualty, I'm assuming, and that they are red, which means a severe casualty who needs to get evacuated as soon as possible.
Saturday, first 5 went. Who's 300? Zim.
Now they do encounter some enemy gunfire in close proximity here shortly inside the trench, but I presume he was shot because we're going to get a better idea and look at kind of where he was shot, in his vest or in between his vest on his side. And so that had to have come, in my opinion, probably from just somewhere down the line, like an enemy position that is not in close proximity to where they are. So if you just kind of think about that for a second, because all of these Ukrainian soldiers are at times kind of standing up and shooting in that direction. Well, the Russians are doing the same thing. And a lot of times, you know, there's rounds snapping, there's rounds whizzing by, ricocheting off things. And, you know, people like to point out a lot that, well, they're not shooting at anything. I mean, they might not see you, which is a lot of time in combat. You don't actually see the enemy, but you're shooting in the direction where you know they are, and sometimes you do hit them.
S8, we're moving towards the target. Do you copy? Now. Get out. It's clear. Show your hand. Tie him up and let him sit. Take off your helmet. Take it off. Here's a prisoner. Hands up, nothing on you. Is someone else there? Were you alone? Hands up. Call 2 people here. Your hands up so I can see. That's it. Why did you come here? How many of you are here in total? 7.
Зачем вы сюда пришли? Сколько вас тут вообще?
You'll notice that he switches shoulders back and forth here, which is something I cover or have covered on the channel, and I'll have other instructional videos on that. I know I had some on my last channel. But the reason that he's doing that is because he's trying to get the greatest angle possible into the threat area. And at times, you know, there's a time and a place for everything. You cannot be in an angle of attack before potentially the threat has you in his angle of attack, unless you change your angle of attack by switching your rifle into your other shoulder. Obviously, when moving quickly and already overexposing yourself, it doesn't make sense to do that. But when we're holding positions and we want to maximize our cover and or concealment while also being able to hold the greatest angle possible, then that's an option that's afforded to you. I think he definitely pulled him back there because that toss didn't quite get to where he wanted it to, and so he just was taking extra precaution by getting him back and laying him down flat. And it did look like it was a little bit short and kind of landed more or less in the trench line that they're currently in. And that's exactly why, you know, you have a point man, you have a second guy, and throughout this engagement here, you're going to see the point guy run out of ammo several times, and that's why the point guy shooting, occasionally the second guy shooting, but the second guy really has to be prepared for when the point man stops shooting, he runs out of ammo, or he has a jam, he has to be available to now cover his position, and that's exactly what they did here. He was up front, he was engaging, ran out of ammo, I assume, and then there was enough space here where he could actually get by and get back. Sometimes he's not able to do that, but the important part here is the number 2 guy is picking up that coverage for him.
Hurrah for the grandfathers. Empty. Need a grenade. I don't understand. Plus. Charon, attention. Left sector, attention. Left sector. Move. Forward, guys. They're panicking. Press them. Press them. What? Where? Where does it hurt? I don't see anything right now, buddy. What? What? Something in the side, I can't take it off. Armor.
I'm going to blur this out a little bit more than it is already blurred. Like usual, what I've been doing here is putting the uncensored clips on my previous channel. I'll have the link in the description of this video. But what I can tell is happening here is he's giving him a needle decompression because his lungs, or the pleural space between his lung, where your lungs expand, have filled up with air, or at least he believes that that's what's happening here. And so he's entering a needle, I think it's like beneath the 4th or 5th rib, and trying to allow that air to expand because it's potentially crushing his lungs and not allowing him to breathe. And that is, I believe, not successful based on what we're kind of going to continue to see here. And there's no way to know exactly what was going on with him, but it doesn't appear that what this other soldier did helped him. And in reality, there probably wasn't much he could have done to help him after sustaining that type of wound.
Please, is there a shovel? Throw the shovel. Throw along the trench. He's breathing. Zim, save him. Please, you hold his hands, I'll wrap the bandage. Subota, allocate 2 people, brother. We need to carry out the heavy one. We need to save him. Give him a blanket. He's freezing. His lungs are filled up. Does he have a chance, brother? Of course, there's always a chance.
У него есть шанс, брат?
Конечно, у всех всегда есть шансы.
Shaylist, I'll now take your hand if you hear me squeeze my hand. Squeeze the hand.
Нажми руку, если слышишь.
Plus, poet. I am Kizek.
Я не чувствую.
Brother. Guys, carry him out anyway. Let's try guys.
Кстати, пробуем. Подожди, Зим пошел, все нормально.
I'll slide him under it and you lift him up. Go. Shayless, brother live.
Блядь!
Guys, second group, finish clearing. Finish clearing.
Не в курсе. Ебать. Пидор.
Still alive, right? Yes. Check the trenches carefully. You missed an enemy.
Пропустили, пидор. Я ебу.
Seems not.
Бля.
Yes, all right, everyone intact.
Нормально.
Все целы.
Ammo red, ammo red. There's an enemy radio. Kizak, Kizak, the enemy is preparing to enter the gut. Do you copy? Received, received. Do you copy?
Про.
Subota in the trench. In the trench. Subota, Subota, advance. We need to replace ours because ammo is red.
Них БК красный.
So here we are sitting in enemy trenches. At least it's fun.
Где шелест, брат?
Сейчас идем.
Туда пулемет выставить?
Туда, да.
Плюс.
Контрольте, брат, растяни там людей.
Плюс.
S12. S12 there. Hold, hold. Minus, minus. Proc, we're at S15. How do you cop? Spread out. Pass through.
Да, чисто.
Минус, минус.
Выстраивай.
Clean? Yes, clean. Position your own.
Смотрел в ту сторону.
Was looking that way. Ask the guys further down. Sabota's group is coming. There. Yes. Control the sector. Stretch people out there.
Людей. Суббота.
Sabota, where are yours? Where else are yours? Go there. Don't get lost.
Туда. Давай, туда, туда, парни, не теряемся.
Grenades, grenades. Hurry, I'm 300. Unhook the automatic. Grenade.
I think he was asking for his rifle. I think he said unhook the automatic. And he ran out of ammo, and it's faster to just get another rifle from someone than to reload. And so I think that's what he was trying to do with the guy on the ground. Looks back behind him and says something to him. Obviously, that guy hands him his rifle. And so, in theory, the other guy behind him is now reloading his rifle for him.
Tell him to keep going and meet the reserve. There are 5 people to use at your disposal.
5 человек. Один в твоем распоряжении. Растягиваю.
Spread them out. Reload in the meantime. Give me another grenade.
Еще гранату дайте!
This part was a little bit confusing to me. I like how he initially pushed up and just started trying to get some covering fire in there. And then the next thing that he did was kind of tried to pull him back, which is the least preferred method because you're occupied with pulling him back and you can't do that and actually cover down the trench. And then what you'll see here, or he already said it, I'm not sure, is for him to start kicking back and start moving back. But I would expect the number 3 guy to also really be involved in what's happening here. And what I expected to see is something more distinctive to a battle drill, which is basically, hey, if we take contact from this direction, we're going to do this. We're going to get in this formation, and these are the actions that we're going to take. And so, you know, I kind of liken this to maybe an officer down drill or something, but in this case, I would think that they would have had some SOP to handle this particular problem. And basically what we want to happen is we just want to get this injured person back to where somebody can start working on him. And in order to do that, what you could do here is this number 2 guy could push up, basically take the number 1 spot, and he shouldn't even have to say anything because we see that another soldier is down. That number 3 guy, as he's covering down the trench, the number 1 guy is covering down the trench. The number 3 guy can come up and pull him back, and they can all move back together and kind of hold this from a greater distance and kind of make better decisions that way too. If we can pull ourselves back, we can now let more people know what's going on, and then we can start attacking this problem. But it doesn't really happen here, and there's a bunch of conversation I know that's been happening that there is no English dubbed over for. I could only translate into English the script that was provided for the original video. And so if you feel like they're saying some stuff and you don't know what they're saying, it's because that English script was not given in the original video.
Hold tight. Cover.
Прикройте!
Kizak, cover the flanks to the north. Do you copy?
Принял.
To the north. Received. Karan, I am Kizak. Reception. What about the Tench? Where was it? Crawl back. The Russians on the radio report that they are calling a tank. Please control all approaches and roads. Kizak, we hear everything, passing it on. Everything is under control. The sky controls everything. Do you copy? Plus received.
So he said, we hear everything, and I'm pretty sure what he means by that is we can hear their communications because they have that intel. And then I think he said the sky sees everything. So obviously what he's talking about there is they have some type of technology in the air that is monitoring the battle space, and he's telling him, don't worry, we see everything and we hear everything.
If a tank suddenly appears on the horizon, let us know. Do you copy? Reception. Need to check the trench.
They say the word reception a lot, and I tried to look it up and I couldn't figure out what it was. So if you know that, whatever it is they're talking about when they say reception, put that in the comments for us.
Threw it deep? Good. It hit me in the armor plate at the beginning. On Strakoza, look there at the beginning. There lies our machine gunner controlling the flank. Understood? Tell him to keep going and meet the backup. There are 5 people there at your disposal. Spread them out. Kizak, Strakoza is cleared. We're setting up the defense as possible, providing assistance to the 300 call for evacuation. The enemy wants to bypass the gut and enter your flank. Control the flanks. Control the flanks.
The Ukrainians reported that they had 1 soldier that was killed in action and another one that was wounded, but they did accomplish their mission. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, you can do that by tapping on this photo, and if you'd like to help this channel grow, you can do that by feeding the algorithm down below.